What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be fooling around with a title called Tunguska. This is a game that's right up the alley if you've ever played anything like Stalker, or you've ever played anything along the lines of, I guess, Chernobylite, or if you've played Metro, it's kind of like that. This is one of those games where you're going into a Soviet abandonment zone that's been irradiated by nukes and all kinds of other crazy stuff. Got looters over here. Man, I'm going to take care of them. And along the way, the game is a survival RPG. There's going to be a lot of narrative. There's going to be a lot of dialogue and talking, that kind of stuff. Let's see if we can drop some of these looters back here. Looks like I got tagged a little bit. Let me reload the old SKS. This Simonov needs to bump. See if I can put some hits on that guy. Is he down? I got word that there was a airdrop coming into this area, and so I'm currently engaging in all kinds of filth and villainy, trying to get that airdrop at the moment. But the game is not in early access, but the game is still actively worked on by the developer. He's constantly adding new DLC and new stuff for you to check out inside the game. He's also constantly bug fixing and patching, so I figured it was time after a year or so to take a look at the game again. Did I get him? He's down. All right, good. We took care of him. Let's see what's going on with this airdrop, man. They said there's about to be an airdrop out here, and I am interested. Looks like everybody was beefing for this thing, dude. There's bodies all over the place out here. The game does have a full inventory loot system. You've got helmets, you've got headgear, you've got primaries, secondaries. These will have different attachments and things on them as you go through the game. But if after watching this you wanted to get the title for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, you can also take a look down there and you'll find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream. You know that I like to play games like this on stream pretty frequently, sort of like sandboxy games that allow me to get out there and scrum with enemies in post-apocalyptic environments. So this is a good one. I've put about 8 hours into it at this point. I've been playing the game quite a lot, more so than most of the games that I cover, just because it's enjoyable. Like, the game is really proof of what you can do if you're trying to piece together a game really just out of assets and grit. That's pretty much the entire story here, is that everything is fairly basic when it comes to the visuals of this game and the gameplay of this game, but it's put together in such a way that the game is pretty entertaining. So the overwhelming narrative here that we're playing around with is that I am an arms dealer who has become an investigative journalist after getting out of jail and prison and all that kind of stuff. And I'm role-playing it as I'm still an arms dealer. I'm in the zone trying to figure out how I can smuggle things in and out of this place to make maximum amounts of money. But the interesting thing about the setup and the arrangement of this game is that you're an investigative reporter. You aren't inherently tied to any faction inside this area. You're looking out for number one, and you're just looking for interesting stories that you radio back home, and then they give you stipends and money that you can spend whenever you come across interesting stories or interesting things that happen. This can come from interviewing people inside the zone. This can come from quests that you go out and complete. It can come from a lot of different locations and spots, but at the end of the day, you're kind of like a passive observer here. You can get involved with things about as much as you want or about as little as you want. Now, because it's a narrative RPG, you're obviously going to get drawn into a prevailing narrative that you're going to be interacting with. The game is semi-open world. It's open world in the same respect that Stalker is open world, I guess. So if you've ever played the original Stalker, it's a bunch of hand-created zones that you kind of just cruise through. Oh, this airdrop had a couple goodies in it. That's not bad. I could definitely take some of this stuff. I mean, the food in and of itself is going to be worthwhile because I've been really low on food. As I said, this is a survival RPG, so you're going to want to stack up as much of this stuff to bring back home as you possibly can. The narrative onus in this game is that people get mutated inside of the zone, and strangely enough, once they become mutated, all of their blood and all of their parts and all of their brains and stuff like that can be used by chemists and also by apothecaries and sort of like pharmacists in order to make fantastic drugs that will heal people of things like cancer. Like things that we don't have a cure for they exist inside the zone. And so people are making enormous amounts of money inside of the zone, finding these parts, harvesting them, turning them into sort of these makeshift drugs that will heal people of any malady that you can think of. And that's sort of like the theme of the game and sort of the ambience of the game, is that you're in the middle of this sort of pharmaceutical gold rush, and there's a lot of factions all murdering and killing and wiping each other out, trying to get firm control of these things. Airdrop was pretty fortuitous. A lot of really good repaired guns inside of here that I'm going to be able to sell to people because, as I mentioned, I'm an arms dealer. So let's hit the road. As of right now, I've got a job where I've got to collect a bunch of ghoul parts. We will go and do that. I think I may have them all in storage at the moment. We're waiting. So there's a guy that his wife got leukemia, and we're waiting for him to get back from the area that he was out on a job. And I'm guessing it's connected to when I deliver all these ghoul parts, as they told me to go do this in the meantime. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, yep, that's a lot of zombies. Run. Oh, buddy. I'm gonna tap them up to the best of my ability, but there's a lot of them. Different guns have different handling in this game. It's also got an aiming system that you're going to have to get used to, where the reticle blooms the longer you hold it down on a person. There we go. We wiped them all out. You guys got anything for me? Actually, this is a really good opportunity to get those ghoul parts that I was talking about. There's some of them right there. There's a ghoul brain right there. What does this guy have going on for me? I have my handy-dandy motorcycle over here that helps me get around town. You can fix up a motorcycle. I don't think that was a feature the last time that I played the game, but the motorcycle functions as kind of like fast travel. You can still only move one zone adjacent to where you are in it, so it leads to a lot of fiddly-diddly clicking. I kind of wish you could use it to go anywhere that you've discovered at the moment, but not the way that it works, unfortunately. I'm going to do some managerial tasks here. I'm going to sell off some of my loot and get some things done. Once that's been finished, we will get to the active task of delivering and making things happen inside the zone. As you can see from my inventory, there are a buttload of items in this game. There are more items than you can fathom inside of this game. And the game does have a fully immersive crafting system for you as well. There is quality of life that unlocks as you go along, but this game has harvesting, it has planting, it has foraging. It's got, you know, medicinal crafting, bullet crafting, gun crafting, all that kind of stuff. But the interesting thing about it is that I'm going to grab the motorcycle here, and we're going to head over to the... I think we're going to head over to the barn. I think I know where I can get the ghoul parts from. So I'm going to take the motorcycle on over there. But all of the crafting in this game is fully immersive, meaning you need to, like, memorize the recipes. And then you put them into combination benches and things like that. And once you slap them on into there, it actually becomes something useful. Who are these guys? They hostile? I cleared this place out, like, hours ago. No, they're not hostile. All right, cool. They're on our team then. But I think over by the church over here, there's zombie spawns that we can actually get some of these extra parts from that we're going to be needing. I've got loads and loads of 7.62 ammo, so I don't really see a reason to go too wild and crazy. There's a scythe over there. Ugh, that's not great. Maybe light him up a little bit. Is he dead yet? He's wounded. That's at least slightly better than I was hoping. I got to thumb load the Simonov. Unfortunately, we don't have stripper clips for it. Down he goes. You do have different forms of XP in this game that you are going to need to figure out. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see a little tiny blue meter, and you can see a big old green meter. The little tiny blue meter, we got him. A visitation event. We need to hide in an underground environment. Hiding above ground helps too, but we'll still get some Tunguska. Oh, dude, I'm about to get irradiated, aren't I? All right, let me grab everything that I can grab here. And then we need to get underground because this has emissions just like Stalker Anomaly does, where there's like psi storms and there's like normal storms and there's kind of like blowouts and things like that. There is a bunker inside this building that I'm aware of. Hopefully nothing moved in while I was in the area. Did anything move in? Okay, it's like slightly irradiated down here. So we're going to need to be careful about being down in here. But we need to wait for the emission to be done. All right, I think the emission is done. We got a little bit of survival XP, as I was talking about. You've got a blue meter and you've got a green meter in the bottom left-hand corner. You level up along two different paradigms in this game. You've got your survival XP, and you've got, oh my god, you've got your survival XP, and you've got yourself your just normal XP. Combat XP and survival XP. I don't know how tough these guys are going to be. after a visitation, you can never really tell, but I'm hoping these guys will give me the parts that I need in order to finish off this quest. So we'll wipe out a couple of them over here, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. I can always craft more 7.62 ammo if I end up needing it. The real problem is when your guns wear down, because repairing weapons in this game is actually kind of a big undertaking. We got some blood off of him. We got a brain off of him, which is good, because that's one of the things that I needed. We got 4 hearts off of him. That's a hell of a mutation. He's going to be hard to take down with them 4 hearts. Got you. All right, so we should have all the stuff we need right now just from hunting. Oh, it killed the birds in the air, too. That's a nice little detail. This game is full of little details like that, but I'm going to harvest that because I can actually make meals out of crow flesh and eggs. And you go through a lot of food in this game. You don't eat like at a ridiculous quantity compared to some survival games, but you do need to eat a couple times a day. Man, I went through like 60 rounds over here. It's probably partially a good thing. I do have a sidearm, which is like a little scorpion, but I'm a little bit low on ammo for it, so I'm kind of like hesitant to use it right now. But it looks like after the visitation is a really good idea to pick up all the bird bodies and things that are around as well. I don't know if these guys are going to be dead over here in town either, but we can go check. Over there, by the way, is where you can play Stardew Valley. This little field over here, depending on a quest choice that you make, you can get control of this field, and if you have a shovel, you can plant the seeds from the things that you harvest out in the overworld to guarantee that you, like, have an infinite supply of ginseng or, like, an infinite supply of, like, motherwort or whatever else for making potions and other good stuff. I can stack those up to save space right here. You do have a keychain now. I don't know if a keychain was a thing the last time I played the game, but the keychain's nice. There used to be a lot of keys rattling around, and now that you've got a keychain, you can kind of like organize and store them. They also added a recipe clip book that I don't know was in here either. If you find recipes throughout the world, you can slide those on in there, and then you can slide this into a crafting workbench, and then it'll just let you read the recipes off the side so that you don't have to like memorize them. So it does even that out a little bit so that you're not constantly carrying around little scraps of paper trying to figure out exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing for right now. Let's get the motorcycle moved on over. I'm going to refuel the motorcycle real fast, and then after refueling and also repairing the motorcycle, we're going to head back and deliver this stuff to the guy that wanted it. Repairing and fueling the motorcycle, really, really easy. You just tell it to refuel, or you put a bunch of scrap metal in there. You tell it to repair, and the condition will go back up. I like the motorcycle because it gives me a full-sized inventory space where I can store up. There's a lot of items in this game, all right? When you go through like a large battle zone and you kill a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of things to loot because in this game, people are tacked out just like scavs in Escape from Tarkov. And so they're going to have a lot of things. And I'm a little bit of a loot hoarder. I have a problem with that. I don't like leaving loot behind if I can help it. All right, I got your mutant parts, bro. They're a little spoiled, but I'll guess they'll do. What did you want to know again? Where's Boris at? When Boris first came to us about 3 months ago, he was all hopeful and cheery. He said he was very excited to be a hunter, and he was happy to do whatever work we threw at him, even the laundry. Roman sent him on a few expeditions, and I'm sure he made some money, but at some point he got depressed. He wouldn't tell when we asked what he was depressed about. He did a lot of work, but he never talked. He just looked anxious and scared. I first thought maybe the mutants scared him, but it's been a long time. Anybody would have gotten used to it by now. He does have a close friend, Kirill. Maybe he knows something about it. Where's he at? Ask Roman. I'm just the chemist, by the way. Good work with the mutant parts. I got a few extra serums here for you. Oh, good. I've got a So there's going to be, like, procedural stuff that happens in this game, too. So there's going to be serum deliveries, so different factions will have, like, requests for healing serums or stamina serums or carrying weight serums. You need to learn how to craft this stuff, otherwise you're not going to be able to deliver it to them. There's also going to be things like airdrops that happen randomly. There's also going to be times where enemies will repopulate areas, adding a little bit of dynamism and making the game still feel interesting even though you've already been through it. I need to know about Kirill. He's not in the base. I sent him with Boris. Now that you mention them, it does worry me a bit that we haven't heard from them in a week. I tried radioing, but it seems like they're out of range. There's a freight train station to the northeast of here. It was called Station 11, and back in the day, lots of materials and supplies moved through that place. It's got a radio repeater that's been busted, but maybe you can find a way to power it up. If I knew how to do it, I would have done it already. All I can tell you is that the place is dangerous. I suggest loading up on bandages and radiation pills before you go. I'll probably stock up. Let's buy out his 7.62. Let's buy another stack of 380. I would also like that repair kit, but what's that going to set me back? Like 1,500? That's okay. I'm all right with that. Your gear does have durability in this game. You will have to repair it from time and time again. I need to repair my gas mask, so that's where I'm going to start. My gas mask is a little busted up right now, and I'd like it to be a little bit more efficient. I still got this picture of Boris that we can use to identify the guy. There was no radiation pills on sale, but I've got alcohol, and in true stalker fashion, cigarettes and alcohol work just fine. I'm guessing it wants me to go this way, since it said specifically to go to the northeast. It might be a good idea to rest till morning, though, so that we have daylight on our side. It can be a blessing or a curse, so in daylight, people have good eyes. At night, you can sneak around them a little bit, and this game does have a fully implemented stealth system that actually works pretty decently well for a hammered-together sort of indie game made by one guy. It works pretty reasonably well. I'm not against it. I am a little bit low on health, too, so let's, eat a couple turkey legs. You gotta have a full energy meter before you can sleep. There we go. We'll call it a full 8-hour rest right there. That's only gonna get us to 5 in the morning. 3 in the morning. I'm even worse at math than I thought. But we will head out that way and kind of see what we're looking at here. Alright, well here's the station. Let's keep our eye out for anomalies. Anomalies in this game can be good or bad. I've seen everything from anomalies that will fix your weapons for you to anomalies that will instantly evaporate you. It just kind of depends. But the anomaly design in this game, while a little bit derivative of Stalker, I mean, you gotta have it in there somewhere, right? Some of the stalkery stuff. I'm afraid to turn on my headlamp because I don't know what I'm up against here. Looks like we got a whole bunch of ghouls from what I can see. Let's break out the little spitums. Looks like we do have radiation in this area, so we'll have to be careful about it. Geiger counter's ticking. We got a bunch of sights on this side. Are there any more sights over here? There are sights over here. There are many sights, I think, is what we need to be aware of. Oh, and zombies. Goody. Okay. Goody, goody gumdrops. Let's just, run away. I'm going to turn on my headlamp since I know I don't have to sneak now. We'll get around the back side of the building. And we'll hopefully kite them out over here. Is there anything behind me? I'm kind of scared to fall back here. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I was going to say, something's going to come up behind me, isn't it? All right. Fine, then. I don't want to get zombie today anyways. These guys have armor on, so they're kind of like the tougher zombies. Big one's wounded. Hey, we leveled up, though, so I can show you the level up process. I've almost gone through all my ammo already, though. All right, these guys are down. Let's grab all their goodies because this stuff is all valuable. You can't kick these crates right here. It's pretty rare that they have anything inside of them, though. Occasionally you'll find, a bottle of water or, a rack of ammunition, but pretty rare. It's sort of like the crates in Gamma or Anomaly, if you've ever played those. Usually they don't really have much in them, but every now and again you'll get a blister pack of pills or something, so I try to go out of my way to fiddle with them. I could use some daylight. That's what I could use. Let's take a look at leveling up while we wait on that. So leveling up happens through the skill tree over here. The skill tree is very, very simple. You put points into a skill. When you hit certain thresholds, you get perks. They're divided into two forms. You've got survival experience and combat experience. You do have a typo right there, though. That's going to need to be taken care of. I've been putting survival points. Let's just get hiker, because that's 1 point. And frankly, I'd really like that sprinting buff. So I'm going to take that on up right there. As far as guns go, we'll take the second tier right there on stopping power. And then I'll keep working on rifles. And that looks good. The game comes with a full journal that's written in normal prose, like a human being writing in their journal. Your quests are sorted out over here to the right. You've also got your own notepad that you can take notes on. You've got discoveries that you can send on back to base. So you work for a newspaper in New York City. And so when you send these stories back, you end up getting paid cash for completing all of the major storylines that are around. And so it can be nice for a little bit of this and that. You've also got orders that'll come in every now and again for various types of serums and things that are around. If you have the serum on you, you can deliver them. You get reputation. People will be happy with you. Their faction will be more pleased with you when you go through and do that. And also, you score yourself a little paycheck. So it can be useful to kind of like stock things on up. Who else is around here? I just heard like a row. So, who's rowering over here? You? We'll mag dump him a little bit. There we go. We got him. Wow, there's a lot of sights out here, dude. We'll just drop him with the big blicky. I'm almost out of 380 anyways. Alright. I do want your blood. I do want your little scythe blades. I don't know exactly what those are useful for yet. I haven't found a crafting recipe that actively utilizes the scythe blades yet. But let's have a look around, because I think we've probably got, like, money options inside of here. Like, whenever you get to a new location, so we've got 44 Magnum casings over there. They said that people were shipping things in and out of this place. We got some bandages on that side. I'll probably actually apply some bandages right now just to get my HP kind of ticking upwards. You've got like a little status bar right there that'll tell you if you've got bleeds or if you've got any other problems that need to be seen to. Right now, we've got ourselves a nice little bit of regeneration, which I'll take. However, I don't want to get too irradiated in here. I'd prefer not to. So we've got a little bit of ammo right there. It looks like there's a forageable outside. All right. You can see on your little radiation meter to the left how irradiated you are. It's best to kind of move through radiation areas as fast as possible. Maybe you can outrun the gamma rays. I don't know. We've got a scythe claw. We've got some AP rounds for 380 right there. I don't know. I was going to say, I didn't know if there was going to be dithering when I was up and underneath that thing. Looks like there's some breakable crates up on the roof. Let's go have a look. Ooh, lockers. Nice. Lockers are always good. Nothing inside the boxes, unfortunately. But we do have a sleeping spot right here. Looks like we've got a Kevlar helmet, which has 25 armor on it. It's better than what we have, but mine's filtering radiation right now so that I get less radiation damage. We've also got potassium iodide, which will protect you from radiation. That's a nice thing to have. As far as getting into this train station goes, how much of a pain is that going to be? It looks like there's an electrical anomaly inside of there. Is the back door open? I saw a back door over here. We can breach doors like so, just in case you don't want to bother with like lock picking or finding the proper way in. We'll want to watch out for that guy right there. He hurts. He stings real bad. Any lootable lockers over here? No lootable lockers. Okay. There's a dead guy over there. We'll want to watch where this thing goes and never get too close to it because it'll arc to us and it'll hurt like hell. Dead guy over here with a 44 Magnum, some bandages, a warehouse key, Magnum hollow points, and some kind of note. Free crowbar over here, which is good. Crowbars tend to be sort of like an item that you need for various quests. You will occasionally come across things that require crowbar. If you don't open that door, son, close the door. Don't let that thing in here. Those things tend to, like, wander once you're, like, fully into it. Does this door open? It does. I was expecting it to be locked. We've got some gasoline over there, which will be great for the motorcycle. What else we got going on over here? It's got to be something good. Filing cabinets full of heavy-duty resistors that do not stack, and some grenades. Interesting. We've got some Nagant rounds right there. We've got ginseng. Got some 7.62. We've got some slugs. There are alternate types of ammunition in this game, so typically it seems to be split up into like hollow point, armor piercing, and full metal jacket. Still, that's enough variety for me. That makes me perfectly happy. I don't have an issue with it. Gives you a little bit of variety. Oh, there's two of them. Well, that's just an issue. Okay. Let's dance around him a little bit. Is he coming around that way? No, he's coming around that way. All right. We may just have to wait for these patrols to stop doing their thing. Or at least, like, group up a little bit. I don't think you can kill those. I haven't, like, actively tried shooting them yet because it's a waste of ammo. in a lot of cases. But what's going on over here? So we got high voltage fuses. Okay, throw that in there. Throw that in there. I'll come back and get it in a minute. I didn't bring the motorcycle with me, so I don't really have storage space for all this stuff. You can increase your storage size, not through finding new backpacks, but through finding backpack pockets, which are like a really, really rare sort of molly attachment to your backpack. They're really expensive, but if you see them on a vendor, you're going to want to spend the money to buy them. That's just my advice. That right there looks like a broadcast tower, and now we have the key that gets us on in here. Or maybe we don't. It's okay, I'll just use my footy. Alright, so we've got a box of resistors over here. There's a 200... Are these different? Oh, that's why they didn't stack. Oh, we gotta do a puzzle. So it looks like we need the 200 and the 300 ohm resistors in here. I didn't remember the formula, so I just looked it up. We've got a 200 right there. We've got a 300 right there. So we'll put those in, and then... Alright, so we've got the right things in there, I think. But I think the power is not being supplied. So there's the gasoline that we need to the generator. Cool. So we've got that covered now. And now will it turn on? Oops, wrong button. I think I've got everything in the right place. Electrical engineering is not my strong point. I just looked it up, in all honesty. Not something that ever came up in my geological science education, how to, you know, come up with amperes and whatnot, so unfortunately not going to be much help there. I'll be honest with you, I completely and totally skip every puzzle in every video game. By the way, that's how I play video games, is that I'm not here to puzzle. I'm here to shoot stuff in the face, and I'm here to have a good time. And puzzles are not fun for me, so I usually just instantaneously look up the solution to any and all puzzles that exist. We are now in loot stacking mode. So I think we need to stack some loot, yeah? For now, let's see why there's a path that goes up on the roof right here. Because this game does have exploration and little jumping puzzles and things like that that you're going to have to figure out along the way. There is no parkour, so you're not going to be like vaulting or climbing over anything. But, does that open? It does. And there's a box in here. But I need a crowbar to get into it. Okay. Well, then let's put the crowbar in, and we'll rotate things around. There we go. We crowbarred our way in. It looks like there's a laser sight. I don't know if I could put a laser sight on a Scorpion. A Scorpion's kind of old hardware by every definition of the word. I doubt it's going to have the rails that you're going to need in order to make that happen. Actually, it does. It looks like I could put a laser sight on it. Okay. Do I see the little... Oh, I do. I can see the little laser right there. Sweet. It'll make my reticle tighter. I'll take it. So gun customization does exist inside this title. You can put little mods on your firearms. It looks like it's not like super... It's not super detailed. So, for example, you don't need an OPSKS rather than a normal SKS in order to install a dovetail or whatever. It just kind of feels like you can put whatever on whatever. I'm going to bring the motorcycle over here for storage purposes. Apparently, there was also a note from Roman that teaches you about Ohm's law, which is resistance equals volts divided by something. I don't know. I never need to learn that information. It's fine. It's not important right now. Am I earning a living as an electrician or as a guy that talks on the internet to himself all day, every day, usually tangentially related to bodily functions and crass humor? That's what I do. That's my wheelhouse. Okay? There may be an electrician out there that can pull off both, and he's a better man than I. My radiation levels are getting a little bit high. I do have potassium iodide. I'll probably take one just to give me a little bit of resistance to whatever's happening here. Now that I've stored up all my Gucci, I'm going to go ahead and eat some food. The game gives you survival XP whenever you eat like a cooked meal or something like that, which is a nice little bonus to have. But you do have to eat in order to get your energy meter back. If your energy meter is not full, you cannot get health back when you sleep. And so that's going to be kind of where they want you to go with that mechanic. Let's continue on down the road because I see more nasties over here. See if I can pick them off from over here. Thumb load real fast. That's a pretty decently sized horde, though. Okay, another one bites the dust. If nothing else, we're stocking up on supplies for crafting serums like health injectors and stuff like that. There we go. We'll drop them down real fast. In general, the zombies are not a massive threat unless it's like that firefight we had last night where they kind of bunch up. That's where things get a little bit gnarly. Got a ghoul right there. He's got hearts on him. Good. What do you have? You got anything in there? A little bit more blood. I think you need blood and hearts in order to make the healing serum. I don't think I have the blueprint yet for the stamina serum, but I think I have a couple of them laying around, so I think I might be able to drop them off with people now. Big ol' spooky tunnel, huh? I've never been there before, so it won't let me go in just yet. The game functions on this system where if you haven't been to a place, you can't find your way there just yet because there's travel time and stuff like that. So we probably need to go back, and we probably need to talk to the guy that wanted the radio receiver turned back on. So let's go mash that out real quick. Go back to the Cossack camp real quick. Apparently the bootleggers are now under attack at the cemetery, so I'm going to need to handle that. I turned off the lights in here because they had a recording of the Soviet Union's national anthem inside of here, and I was worried that it would trigger DMCA because nowadays everything triggers DMCA and makes your life difficult. We'll put this over on this side. I'm going to hold on to the blood and whatnot. I've got restore health. I think this guy wanted a stamina serum from what I recall. Let me check my serums delivery list. And it looks like Sador wanted a stamina, and he wanted a health, and this guy wanted a carry weight, actually. That one's going to expire pretty soon, so I should probably go drop that off real fast just to make some extra cheddar. Let's make our delivery. That's why they gave us the motorcycle, is that we're a serum delivery boy at this point. Back inside the village, I'm pretty sure I have all of this stuff inside I've got multiple storage crates inside this building that I've been utilizing. If you wanted to see some of the variety in firearms, you've got everything from sawed-off shotguns, pump shotguns, Makarovs, Scorpions, Simonovs. There's melee weapons and shields, just in case you wanted to play the game that way and throw down in the close combat way. I don't think I can fit that in there. You can also break down ammunition and weapons if you have the right casings and whatnot. But what I need is... Well, I've got the carrying weight Cinda. I think I've got the carrying weight ones, but I don't have the stamina ones. And I haven't stumbled across that blueprint yet, so I don't know exactly how to make one. So I think we can bang out this stamina serum at the serum lab. I'm kind of like improvising here because I just looked this up because I don't have the blueprint. But I think we need 2 hearts. I think we need an alcohol. I think we need a elf dock pedals. And then I think we do it under medium heat, I think. There we go. That looks right. Let's try it. Hey, there you go. We got our stamina restorer. Good. Let's make the delivery over here real fast, and that's how all the crafting in the game works. You find stuff around, and you've got to memorize the blueprint. There are books and things that can record it for you to allow you to auto-craft it, but you got to find those things first. Basically, this game makes you earn the quality of life. Serum order. Deliver. Looks kind of yellowish. What did you put in it? Overnight piss? Anyways, here's the payment. All right, well, we now have 83% with this guy. I will actually probably take treatment, too, because I'm swimming in money. So he'll give me, like, food and also heal me back up to full, which makes life easier. I'm going to throw all those things in there. I've got so many things. Do you have money right now? Can I sell you some of this garbage? He does have money right now, so I can offload some of my inventory. You can also break down these weapons if you want to into raw parts. Once you've done that, you can use them to repair your weapons. So, for example, if you go to a workbench and you put a weapon inside the workbench with another weapon of the same type, it increases the durability by like 10. If you put a weapon into a repair bench with like 3 scrap metal and 2 wood and like something else, it'll give you a random amount of durability on the gun. You can fix things and make it happen. Let's go ahead and throw... There's all kinds of stuff here that I don't really like want or need right now. And I am in a mood to liberate some of my inventory space from just the sheer volume of stuff. There's also things like lumberjacking axes. You can use those to chop down trees in order to get the wood that you need in order to do various functions. There are shovels that you can use for farming. There's fertilizers. This game is tremendously content rich. And I really like the fact that the game has taken on board a lot of the ideas from Anomaly and a lot of the ideas from Gamma to also serve you up with opportunities to do procedural content. Like right now, we can go respond to that distress call that's in the cemetery. We can help a faction. We can get reputation with them. You know, there's airdrops. There's random ghoul invasions that happens in towns and things of that nature. Makes the game very entertaining to play, because if you don't want to focus entirely on narrative stuff, you don't really have to. You can go find other things to do out and around and then just come back to doing the main narrative once you feel like you're prepped for everything. And I like that. When games don't have a little bit of that sandboxy, they don't have that little sandboxy element to it. Like, I like that this game is focused on narrative and it's focused on the job at hand, but simultaneously I do like that they've given you a little smattering of side jobs and sort of emergent content that you can go play around with as well. And I think that's what I dig about the game. This is one of those rare cases where I check out a video game and I don't really have anything to complain about. This is a really solid Stalker experience if that's what you're in the market for. Like, if that's the kind of game that you're trying to play, that's what this does. It is Stalker set in a more realistic setting of like 1980s USSR. It doesn't have quite all the magic and all the other stuff going on and all the artifacts and things of that nature, but it is a very good wasteland crawling game that has loads and loads of content and loads of things for you to do if you're into these types of games. And I happen to be that audience. I don't really have any complaints about this title. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's an easy recommend if you're into post-apocalyptic survival games. The fact that one guy managed to whip this all together by himself without aid and create something that actually manages to capture what makes Stalker so good so accurately is very, very awesome. Maybe it's just me lately. I've been playing a lot of Gamma lately, and so maybe it's just because I'm on a Gamma kick right now, but this is a really, really good video game. It's a lot of fun. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for stopping on in. That's about all I got for you. No complaints about this one. Keep on doing what you're doing, developers. You're doing a great job, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Bye, folks.